Hey everyone, this is Kirk here at Option Alpha, and what I wanted to do in this video is go over some ideas on how to scan for new stock and options trading ideas. Now, of course, like I do with all of these videos, I'm going to be mainly using my Thinkorswim trading platform. So I know that a lot of the other brokers these days have some similar types of scans and analysis that you can use. And of course, it's going to be a little bit different for each, but I think that Thinkorswim definitely has the lion's share of the best trading and scan and analyzing tools that you can have for a stock or options trader. So I'm going to go over a couple of them, and then I'm going to share the last one is my favorite tool to use for looking for credit spreads and iron condor type strategies. Okay, so let's get right into it here. And I'm just going to go back to my screen here. And so you can see we're on my main Thinkorswim platform here. And I'm already in the scan tab, and then the sub tab is the stock hacker tab. And you can see there's a couple ones. There's a spread hacker and a spread book. So we're just going to mainly work in the stock hacker tab right now. And there's a bunch of different base scans that they have already outlined for us. And you can see the one that I've already have up here is a gap up scan, where it basically just searches the entire market for all of the stocks that have traded and gapped higher on the day. And these are really good for both stock and options traders. For stock traders, it shows that the stock is breaking out of a range possibly and trading higher and could continue. For option traders, it means that we do have a definite direction starting to form in the stock, and we can either sell puts below the stock or sell a credit spread below the stock, or create a debit spread above the stock and potentially profit from the continued rise. So there's a lot of different scans that Thinkorswim has. You can have gap downs. There's a bunch of these top 10s here, these top 10% gainers, top 10% losers, most active, net gains, net losses, and then a sizzle index, which goes over a bunch of the volatility and combination of percentage gain, activity, etc. So I'm just going to stay with the gap up one that I have. You can see there's a lot of different criteria you can adjust here. You can basically look at everything in the market. You can narrow it down to only stocks that trade between $10 and $30 if you want to. But what I've done is I've just created a simple scan here that I've already run. It's showing the first 100 of about 1,600 stocks that gapped higher on the day. And you can see that on the very first one, there's a couple of these stocks that are more penny stock type things that have gapped higher 15,000%. Those probably don't trade options, so we might not want to look at those. But there are a couple ones that did catch my eye, and I just want to show you it, like this one, CPF. You can see it's about a $2 stock, and it has had a pretty good gap higher today, about 17%. So if I right click on this and hit the profit tab here, then I'll go to this stocks chart. And you can see this is a really good breakout. It's on continued strength, more volume from below here. So if I was a stock trader or option trade, you might want to make a directional trade on this. You'd obviously have to worry about it continuing higher at this rate. It seems like it's on a moonshot trajectory, and it could really pull back here. So that's a good way of looking for stocks that way. There's another one right below it, TGB, that I just found as well. It's kind of a little bit more cheap stock. Again, it's under $6, so it could be considered around the penny stock region. But you can see that this stock actually had a big gap down back in November and now has a big gap higher on high volume continuing to move out. So this might be a good opportunity where you would like to either sell a credit spread below the market if you can do it, sell naked options, buy some out of the money options here to take advantage of the big run that could be coming up. There's a bunch of things you can do with these. Okay, so now we're going to go back to our scan tab. And the other thing I want to take a look at tonight is the alerts in the Market Watch tab, and mainly the watch sub tab in here. And you can see that I have the Thinkorswim index details already opened here, and I'm going to just click this drop down box and select the public stocks to look at and go all the way down here to the S&P 500. So as soon as I hit that, it's going to populate this entire screen with all of the stocks in the S&P 500 here, and you can see they're all updating now. But I can quickly glance over every stock here and visually see which stocks are doing better or worse on the day. And you can see there's a good reference key here. You can see stocks that are down more than 20% are bright red. stocks that are up more than 20% are going to be bright green. So you can easily see which stocks have really moved on the day and kind of focus in on these stocks immediately before scanning chart after chart. So here you can see that SVU was down about 11.5% today. So again, I can right click on this, go to our profit chart and see what happened on the day. Okay, you can see they had a pretty big down day, and again, a gap lower on high volume. So this is an opportunity, again, as an option stock trader, that you can start to position yourselves with these big moves, whether you want to sell calls above the market because you know it's continuing lower, whether you want to buy puts below the market, anticipating that it's just going to keep falling. You could also possibly want to enter an iron condor or a spread type scenario and try to bracket the market after this move. So that's another way that you can look at this. Going back here, you can see there's a bunch of other things that you can look at here. Apollo is another one that had a big move up today. So we just right click on it, hit our profit charts, and we can see that Apollo had a really good move up today and actually formed a mini island pattern down here where we just see this 1 or 2 day pattern of just all by itself, like it's out an island. So these patterns usually signal a continued move higher. So in this scenario, we could again sell puts below it, create a credit spread or a debit spread above the market. We could buy the stock. We could do a bunch of different things, but we really want to focus as day traders and swing traders on really active stocks that are moving or could be moving very fast in the future. Okay, so those are two great ways to look at and scan for stock and options trade. Now, the last one is my favorite one, and that's the Spread Hacker. Now, this is a really good one because you can really focus in on the type of strategy you want and really narrow down the details of the trade that you're looking for. So again, you can see that I have all of my parameters here in these boxes to the max. So there's no real limit I'm putting on this scan. It's just telling me every spread that's basically available in the market right now, and it's about 187,000 different spreads. Now what I can do is use these different criteria here and select and use different criteria. So I'm going to say, okay, I want the minimum underlying price of the stock that I want to be trading to be somewhere between $30 or so and never as more as or never higher than 100. So again, I'm limiting the range of the securities in this scan to stocks that are worth $31 or higher, but not more than $100. The probability of profit here, this is a really good tool because then you can really narrow down what the theoretical probability of making money is on this trade. So again, you might want to move it to the higher end and say, okay, I only want to look at spreads where I have a theoretical probability based on historical numbers. And again, I'm a big numbers guy. I'm not an emotional trader. I want to look at the numbers. Based on the numbers, I have more than a 76% chance of making money, but I'll just limit it to the upside to remove any of the real small minor penny stocks or real out of the money stocks that are options that we can't make any money on. And then again, the max profit, this is the percentage return you want to make on your trade. So again, you can kind of make this a little bit different on all ends. Obviously, 1,000% is not realistic. You're not going to get really good option spreads to come back, but somewhere in the neighborhood of, let's say, 3 to 8%. So now we have our full scan built. We want to look at only stocks that are trading between $31 and $100 with a probability of profiting above 76%, but not higher than 95%. And then we want a max profit of at least 3%, but nothing higher than 8%. And again, that's just going to weed out a bunch of the really bad trades that are in the market. Okay, so we just hit scan here and we wait for our scan to populate with all of these trades. Okay, and you can see it already populated with a bunch of trades. And you can see here, if I just click on this trade right here, this is a vertical spread on the IWM, so go figure that they're going to use the indexes as most of their trades. And you can see it's a March 2011 contract, a 65 put and a 63 put. So again, we're going to sell the 65 put below the market and buy back the other put even lower. You're going to get about $13 per contract. It has a probability of profiting of 95%. And I don't know where else you can find in the market these types of returns on your money. Again, your max profit is 7.24 right now. and you can see some more front end and back end volatility ratios in this trade. So this is really the big tool, one of the big tools that I use to kind of see where the market is and see where the good trades are. This is a great tool for any beginner trader or even advanced traders, just to kind of see and look for and search for different types of trades that you might not normally see. As always, happy trading and good luck.